The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network. Yes, thanks for letting me know I'm on the air. All of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this. I always look. The 19th day of March, 2025. It's almost spring. And today we have a rare Monday played game on the channel because the holiday, Memorial Day, falls on a Wednesday, which would be a normal, it makes sense to me anyway, a normal day where we would show a game. So this would be, if this was ESPN or something like that, the Wednesday game on a Monday, which is separate from the holiday doubleheader, which will be the Washington Nationals and the New York Yankees from the big old ballpark in the Bronx. Today, we play the games of May 28th, 1956, and we have the Cleveland Indians, who are in first place in the American League, playing the Detroit Tigers, who are just 2 games back. It's Gromit for the Tigers, and the Indians will go with Herb Score, who we've had he's lost 6 games this year, some of them on this channel. In fact, when he lost his 6th game of his season, his last start, he'd lost half the games that Cleveland had all year. So you just never know. It's the Indians and the Tigers on a Monday night on Lake Erie next. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Cleveland's Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And it will be the Indians and the Tigers on a beautiful night on Lake Erie. 71 degrees, clear skies, no wind. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Not quite sure if I'm a mighty fine fan of his wine or not, but he's here live watching as Herb Score takes his warm-up tosses. Herb would like to have some of the AI treats for him that have gone for other teams as of late. He is 2-6 on this replay with a 3.90 ERA. He's making his 9th start. He's completed 4 games. 23 years old. He throws it hard, a fastball at 94. And last year's Rookie of the Year is a fly ball pitcher. That loss came against the Red Sox in a 4-3 loss, which I was accused of throwing in favor of the Red Sox. I played the Red Sox, okay. So I think that was actually the first Red Sox win on the channel since Game 5 of the 88 series. Anyway, 3-4 loss, 9 innings, a season-high 164 pitches, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a home run. He walked 4 and struck out 13. Second time this replay, he has fanned 13. In 60 innings, he's allowed 48 hits, 30 runs, 26 earned, 7 home runs, 31 walks, and 74 strikeouts, and that does lead the American League. Here's how the Tigers will line up. Harvey Keene leads off at short. Jack Phillips at first will bat second. Al Kaline in right will go third. Bill Tuttle in center will clean up. He looks like Harry Morgan there, doesn't he? Ray Boone at third will bat fifth. Bob Kennedy, who will go to the White Sox, or came from the White Sox, will be in left. He'll bat sixth. Jim Weiser at second will bat seventh. Red Wilson behind the plate goes eighth, and Steve Gromit on the hill at 36 will bat ninth. Score can give you 150 pitches. Rudy Regalado at third is a 5 as we set the Indian defense. They do. That's the whole point, is that they look like the back of baseball cards. They have them for all 4 sports for Action PC, and these pictures are from the 56 set that I have. George Strickland is a 5 and a 5 at short. Bobby Avila, a 6 and a 6 at second. Vic Wertz, a 5 at first. The outfield, Preston Ward is a 4 and a 4 in left. Jim Busby, a 9 and a 7 in center. And Al Smith, a 6 and a 6 in right. The battery, Jim Hegan, a 9 and an 8 behind the plate. And Score is not a great fielder. He's a 2 on the mound with a .909 fielding percentage. Keene, a 6-game hitting streak, hitting .303. 4 homers and 24 RBI. Tigers, this is game 37 for them. They are 20 and 16. For the Indians, this is game 35. This is a rare Monday game. We'll actually have a holiday special for you next week when we go along, or when we get to that point on the calendar, for June 4th, 1956, somebody's 4th birthday. Score, allow Grommick to pitch on short rest. Oh no. Oh no. What's going on here? When did he pitch? When did he pitch? Oh, Grommick. Grommick pitched, yeah, out of the pen, so I'll allow it. 2 days rest. Bucky Harris's squad, so yes. My lineup is not complete. So yes, Grommick will pitch. It's a bullpen game for the Tigers for sure. Once again, Harvey Keene, 303, 4 homers and 24 RBI. And oops. Third time's a charm, really. Keene into left field. Ward coming in. 1 out. So after all that, that's how this one starts. Jack Phillips at 190. 2 doubles and 4 RBI. The joys of the era for sure. Tigers rode grays. Detroit in a beautiful cursive script across the front and a darker blue. Dark blue hats with the orange D. Indians with wearing sleeveless jerseys, white with Indians across the front, the hat with a C, and that happy-go-lucky logo up there. Phillips strikes out, first for Score, a 1-2 fastball. Herb, that was a 2-seamer, not a 4. And there's 2 quick out for Al Kaline. Kaline at 302, 6 home runs in 37 games, and 24 RBI. Score, winds, and deals, and Kaline punches that in for a single up the middle. So the Tigers have a 2-out single. Detroit comes into this one just 2 back. Bill Tuttle at 240, 2 home runs, and 29 RBI, which just goes to show that you don't always put power in the cleanup spot. Score, pitch. There is a ground ball to Wertz. He'll underhand it to Score, and that will do. Half an inning in the books. Detroit got a hit and left a runner on, and there is no score. So Grommick, Steve Grommick, or Gromick, making his 5th start. He primarily is a bullpen pitcher. He's 36 years old. He throws the Bugs Bunny fastball at 81 and is a fly ball pitcher. 2-2 on the replay so far, with a 4.30 ERA. Happy hour somewhere. He last pitched on the 25th, so it's not like he's on super short rest. He went 1 inning, 17 pitches, and a hit. His last longer outing was on May 19th, where he went 39 pitches over 2. And his last start was on May 6th against the Orioles, where he went 7 1/3 and a loss. Overall for Grommick, 37 2/3, 44 hits, 20 runs, 18 earned. He's allowed 6 home runs, but none in about 3 weeks. He has walked 10 and struck out 12. You'd think by now I could move a mouse and talk at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Jim Busby leads off in center for Cleveland. Bobby Avila at second will bat second. Al Smith in right will go third. Vic Wertz, the power, cleans up at first. Preston Ward will bat fifth in left field. Someone, I forget who it was the last time we played the Indians, thought that he had the name of a 30s movie star. Rudy Regalado is at third. He'll bat sixth. George Strickland at short goes seventh. Keegan behind the plate bats eighth. And Herb Score on the mound batting ninth. Grommick can get you 60 pitches. A bullpen game all the way for the Tigers. Defensively for Detroit, Bob Kennedy a 4 and a 5 in left. Bill Tuttle is an 8 and a 7 in center, and the Hall of Famer Al Kaline a 10 and a 9 in right. The infield, Ray Boone is a 5 at third. Harvey Keene is a 6 and a 7 at short. Jim Breidwieser, or Weiser, I think Weiser, right, is a 6 and a 5 at second, and that name probably will turn into a last name will be like some sort of metal band in about 30 years. Jack Phillips is a 7 at first. Red Wilson a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Grommick is a 2 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Busby digging in at 264, 6 homers, and 20 RBI. This one starts with ball 4, and Busby is indeed a threat to steal. So Grommick, 47 real-life walks in 141 innings. Avila at 219, 2 homers, and 10 RBI. Pitch to Bobby is into right center. Back goes Tuttle. That was a high fly ball, but Tuttle will corral it for the out. One away for Al Smith, hitting 255, 2 homers, and 14 RBI. Memorial Day doubleheader tomorrow, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. So you can put Savannah Guthrie away on the West Coast at 8:30. She'll be fine. It's all on tape anyway. It'll be the Nationals and the Yankees from the big old ballpark in the Bronx. Pitch to Smith is a ground ball. Keene just to Phillips for the 1. Busby takes second. Keene did not step on the bag. So 2 out for Wirtz. Vick at 234, 9 home runs, and 25 RBI. Indians in first place in the American League. Tigers are in third. Coming off a Sunday doubleheader sweep in Kansas City. So imagine that. You're playing a doubleheader in KC on a Sunday, getting on a rickety plane, having one of those slow vibrating flights from Kansas City to Cleveland, and here you go. You're back on the field. John is rooting for the Bengals, wearing his T. Higgins t-shirt and all that. Pitch to Wirtz. Vick hits this one to second. Breidwieser is there, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, no errors. Indians strand 1, Bengals nothing, Browns nothing. So Boone, Kennedy, and Bride. So Weiser or Weiser? Weiser. Ray Boone is hitting .311, 8 home runs, 26 RBI. His grandson, the manager, right? Yeah, the manager of the New York Yankees. And Ray draws the walk. John, you grew up a Reds fan, right? And it's your wife that was a Phillies fan. Bob Kennedy at 286, a home run and 3 RBI. So, just rooting for the Tigers in this one, or did you grow up a Tiger fan as well? Kennedy hits this one to first. Wirtz underhands it to score, and Bob is retired. Boone moves on to second for Jim Breidwieser. Breidweser. And if this was the Nationals radio network, you'd hear a ding after that. Jim is hitting .271 with 5 RBI. So Boone on second, 1 out in the scoreless game here in the second. Score delivers. Struck him out. And 0-2 fastball that was out of the zone. 2 out for Red Wilson. Red at 294, 2 homers, and 5 RBI. So Score has fanned 2 here with 2 out in the bottom of the second, or top of the second. Score's pitch, that's a line drive to Strickland, and that will take care of business. No runs, no hits, no errors. Tigers have stranded 2 so far, and after an inning and a half, Detroit and Cleveland are scoreless at the lake. Nah, decided I was going to root for the visiting team every time until you noticed I picked against you all the time. Huh. So, in your truck, I'm sure you got a Phillips. So put one in the palm of your hand and screw yourself. Not really. I'm just funning him. That's great. I love it. It'll be Ward, Regalado, and Strickland for the Indians here in a second. John. Preston Ward at 238. A home run and 4 RBI. Grommick deals. That is into center field for a base hit, and Ward does his best. James Cagney and will be the star of his own show. Here's Regalado. Rudy hitting 250 with a triple and 3 RBI. With friends like this, who needs enemies, right? Regalado cannot bunt, and Ward cannot steal, so he will not hit and run. Grommick deals. That's a fly ball to left. Kennedy makes the catch. Throws it back in, and there's 1 out for Strickland, who's 1 for 4 on the replay. I believe we used him once as a pinch hitter. The Weezer song Buddy Holly, 1994. Yep. Catching up on jokes from the last inning. Overall, Strickland 211 in real life, 3 homers and 17 RBI. Got off the rails 17 minutes in and win the second inning. Pitch to Strickland, drop down bunt, and won't get it, or he foul tipped it, and it's a 2-2 count. Grommick deals. That is a base hit into right center field. Kaline will throw it in. First and second, 1 out for Hegan, hitting 233, 2 homers, and 10 RBI. Short version, grew up in Florida in the 70s and latched on the Reds. My dad did too. Did not grow up a baseball fan. Ironically, Cleveland was the closest to where he grew up in New York. Summer of 78, vacation 2 months with the grandparents in Philadelphia, got the Phillies fever, but didn't become a diehard until 1990 after the Reds won the World Series. Nothing wrong with that. Different shades of red. Pitch to Hegan. There's a fly ball to left. I won't sing the Kennedy jingle anymore. Makes the catch, and everybody's got to retreat. You just hit the live button and you jumped an inning. Here's Herb's score. Herb at 222 with a double. 4 for 18 on the season. Excuse me. I don't know that song, Andrew, so you are glad to know that I won't be able to sing it to you. Or even give you a Vinnie Holly impression of it. Or Vinnie Scully. There's a fly ball to right. Kaline will make the catch, and you won't see that in the Fortnite stream. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, as we do all the jokes on the show. After 2, no score. So the Indians got 2 hits. They've left on 3. Grommick, Keene, and Phillips to face score in the 3rd. Steve on short rest as far as the computer is concerned, so maybe he'll get pinch hit for now, or he'll go another round. Anyway, he is 1 for 11 on the replay and 0.91 in average. He has scored twice and walked 3 times. He stays in the game, flies this one to Busby in center, 1 out. So as Harvey Keene steps up 0 for 1, score opening 9, 41 pitches, 2 1/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. If I heard it, I recognize it. I'd ask Madam Speaker to play it, but I don't need to get copyrighted. I'm sure I would. I'm sure I would. So Keene at the plate. Score? The Indians have only lost 13 all year, and score is 6 of those. Pitch to Harvey. Struck him out. Score got him to chase a 2-2 breaking ball at 84. 2 out for Jack Phillips, who struck out his first time up. Here's a fly ball to right. Back goes Smith. Makes the catch. And that will do. After 2.5, no runs, no hits, and no errors. I'm still laughing at the whole John messing with me. That is great. 2.5 in the books, no score. They filmed the music video to look like they were on Happy Days. Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Happy Days. Thursday, Friday, Happy Days. Saturday, what a day. Waiting all week for you. These days are all... And okay, that's enough of that. Busby walked his first time up. Gromik opening 9, 35 pitches, a couple bad songs by me, 2 innings, 2 hits, and a walk. Busby strikes out. He chased an 0-2 curveball. 1 away for Avila, who was 0 for 1. Your sound cut out. How you doing, Dave? Big Dave. No, it did. It muted itself. You wait as AI develops, and we'll have spoken word records by, Red Barber and Vin Scully, and someone will come up with the voice of George Washington and do that. Are there any clapping because you were good, or because it's... Are they clapping because you were good, or because it's over? Because it's over, John. Pitch to Avila. There's a ground ball. Keene cuts it off, throws to Phillips for the out. Guess we're all in a good mood today on this Wednesday. 2 out for Al Smith, who's 0 for 1. Fly ball to right. Back goes K-Line. Al chases it down in the corner and makes a catch against the wall. How about that? K-Line, being a kid, doesn't mind the fact he just mashed his shoulder into that chain link fence. Won't matter. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Just spin on, rub a little dirt on it. It'll work itself out. After 3, Tigers and Indians are scoreless. How you doing, Chris? They were still booing the warm-up band when we came on. Oi and Vay. K-Line singled his first time up. The lone hit for Detroit. Score, winds and deals. That's into left field. Back goes Ward. 1 out. That would be cool to have a Red Barber AI to do a game. I think I told you, someone asked me if I could do a Euchre impression, and I really couldn't. Tuttle is 0 for 1. My friend, Sportsflix, used to be Mr. Wrestling, and that has various AIs, and I've watched myself call a game of replay, and that I wasn't calling. And that was rather scary, Jeremiah. Pitch to Tuttle. Into left field. Back goes Ward, and that is gone. So Tuttle has homered, and the Tigers go up 1-0. Brent DeHart was the name I was trying to think of. Tuttle hits his 3rd of the year over that fence. Let's watch it again. Score, hung it out over the middle of the plate, and there wasn't a blessed thing Ward could do about it. And it's 1-0 Tigers. So I'm sitting there on a night, just about want to watch this. And so I'm listening to myself, and they had some of it right. It's hard to get inflection right in context, although the AI is getting better with that. But yeah, that voice was about 80% of it I recognized as myself. Ray Boone walked his first time up. So pitch to Boone, that is into left center. Back goes Ward again, and it's back to back. Boone put that one well up in the bleachers in left center over that scoreboard, and it's 2-0 Tigers. His 9th of the year. Ray just hammered that. My word, did he get all of that one. So score, again, if it wasn't for bad luck, Herb would have no luck at all. But that thing was just, it was 91 mile an hour off his arm and trying to go visit the USS Cod out there in Lake Erie. My word, was that hammered. Bob Kennedy's 0 for 1. Up the middle, a base hit. So the Tigers have time scored well the second time through. Here's Bride whatevers. He's 0 for 1. He struck out. 1 of 3 that score is fanned. Herb deals. That's 4 now. A full count fastball check swing. Pitch was a ball, but he called it a swing. 2 out for Red Wilson, who's 0 for 1. Did we all see the Terminator with the AI stuff? He's gotten so good with that, Brent has. He had a boxing exhibition using the AI, and it was not Al Bernstein from ESPN, Stop Rank Boxing. And it was about 90% there. And I think he did a fight with Barry Tompkins from the older HBO Fight Caller, which was about 90% there. I didn't think the Jim Lampley he used was as good. But we'll get to the point where, sure, plug in your favorite announcer and you'll be able to listen to it. Wilson, there is a fly ball to left. That should stay in the yard. Ward waits, makes the catch. And after 3.5, 2 solo homers. One from Tuttle, the other from Boone. And the Tigers lead it 2-0. So here are the standings. Milwaukee did not play a doubleheader. Yes, they did. Take that back. No, just the one. They beat Cincinnati 2-0. They lead Brooklyn by 3. And again, I think Milwaukee is the best overall team in the National League. Brooklyn, the most mature. St. Louis 4 back. And Cincinnati is 7 back. They're kind of in the same situation the Yankees are. You know that they're good, but they got to wake up. Cubs, Giants, Phillies, and Pirates are all football season. In the American League, these Indians are a game up on the Red Sox at 21-13. The Tigers also have 20 wins. They're 2 back. Washington just won't go away. They play the Yankees tomorrow for a doubleheader. The Yankees are still under 500. Then the White Sox, and then Baltimore and Kansas City, who Detroit ripped to shreds yesterday. 12-3. No, that was in Detroit, so it wouldn't have been too bad. And then 7-1. Wirtz is 0 for 1. There's a fly ball right center. Back goes Kaline, and that ball is gone. So Wirtz hits his 10th of the year, and the Indians are on the board. So Wirtz's 10th home run, that was into right center, and it's a 1-run game. And Todd B. promises to have his favorite tandem call a game, as that one found the seats out there of Joe Buck and George Hendrick, both alumni of the St. Louis Cardinals. Preston Ward singled his first time up. That is in, hit the back of the mound to second. Brideweezer throws to Phillips for the out. One away for Rudy Regalado, who is 0 for 1. So Gromit, the computer has on really short rest. We'll see if he gets out of the 4th. Hit him. And the crowd doesn't like that at all on this Monday night. Got him on the leg, and Rudy scrambles to first for George Strickland, who singled his first time up. So Gromit, not a fan favorite at the moment. 68 degrees, no winds. That is back to the mound. Gromit, no play at second, throws to Phillips at first, and Strickland is retired. 2 out for Hegan, who's 0 for 1. So the Indians, I would say, are the pleasant surprise so far, along with the Red Sox. And the old saying is, don't pay attention to the standings until Memorial Day. Well, if you're with us tomorrow at 11:30, those standings are about to become a big deal because it will be Memorial Day. Pitch to Hegan. There's a ground ball. Grommick, first base side of the rubber, throws to Phillips, and that will do. We have played 4 here. It's an Oprah day. You get a home run. You get a home run. You get a home run. Vic Wertz hits his 10th. The lone hit of the inning, and after 4, Tigers 2, Indians 1. So let's see if they pinch hit here. Steve is 0 for 1. He went 4. Score has labored. Again, he's given up 9 home runs on the year already in 64 innings. He gave up 18 in real life in 249 in a third. They will let him hit. He hits it to center, 1 out for Harvey Keene. So score 4 1/3, 18 batters, 82 pitches, 4 hits, the 2 home runs, Tuttle and Boone back to back, a walk and 4 strikeouts. Who is it, Todd? Todd says, I've seen that gentleman's work. It's the closest I could come. I mean, there's some great shots in that pack that I got from Mark Shaw. But some of them just have the wrong scoreboards. And you really don't want computer ads in a game that you're doing from 1956. Unless it's UNIVAC. Pitch to Keene, who's 0 for 2. Ground ball to Strickland. He'll throw to first. And Harvey is retired. 2 out for Jack Phillips, who's 0 for 2 with a K. You have a bookmark somewhere. Okay. So it really is nice. You can kind of, I mean, maybe because it's the resolution, but you can kind of see, if you look out in the outfield, where the football field will be laid out, which is clearly what you remember when you remember watching an Indians game from the old ballpark. Pitch to Jack Phillips, who's 0 for 2. Now he's not. That's 1 for 3, all the way to the wall, and Phillips is in there with a double. So Phillips gets up, dusts himself off. 5th hit for Detroit. Here's Al Kaline. Al has a single. He's 1 for 2. Score, again, has half the Indians' losses almost. And if he loses this, then he will have half of their losses. That will be his 7th. Left center, Ward. And we're halfway home on a beautiful day in Burlington. It is 62 degrees. Tigers 2, Indians 1. We'll be back in a moment. It joined us late. Here's how we got here. The Tigers are within 2 games of the Indians for first place on this May 28th in the American League. I keep trying to block out in my head American League East. It's American League. There's no East or West. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. A run on 3 hits and no errors for Cleveland. Tigers 2 in the 4th, 2 solo homers. Bill Tuttle his 3rd. Down the line and left, and Ray Boone boomed one in the bleachers in left center, his 9th of the year, to make it 2-0. For the Tigers, or for the Indians, rather, Vic Wertz, a solo homer to right center, his 10th of the year, to make it a, nope, wrong slide, there you go, a 1-run game. Grommick, on very short rest, should be done. 4 innings, 3 hits, a run, it was earned, the home run by Wertz, a walk, and a strikeout. So he should be pretty much on a very tight leash. Herb Score, 5 innings, 5 hits, both the runs on solo homers, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Gary Grigsby, I know that name from somewhere. Is that a war game designer? I've heard that name, Todd. Anyway, Score has thrown 91 pitches so far. It will be Score. Busby and Avila to face Grommick here in the 5th. Herb is 0 for 1. Score, strikes out. So that's the second for Grommick. Busby has walked and struck out. 0 for 1. Grommick, 18 batters, 68 pitches, 4 1/3. 3 hits, the home run to Wirtz. He has walked 1 and struck out 2. They play for the bunt. That's into right center field, and Busby ties the ball game. A home run in the bleachers in right center. And for Busby, that's number 7 and 142 at-bats, and it's a 2-2 ball game. How you doing, John? They played for the bunt. I really had no intention of doing it. And Busby goes the opposite way. And Tuttle turned and watched it go. So 1 out now in a 2-2 ball game. And here's Bobby Avila, who was 0 for 2. That is into left center. Tuttle slides and makes a great catch. A wry smile as he brushes the grass stains off his knees. So 2 out for Al Smith, who's 0 for 2. They should have played for the home run instead. That's today's baseball. I haven't watched the highlights yet. Dodgers won again today. So they start their season at 2-0. Great to see packed houses in Tokyo. Pitch to Smith. That's into right. K-line down in the corner. Does he? He does! He reaches over the fence and robs him of a home run while he crashes in the wall. It's the same shoulder he smashed earlier, but he just robbed Smith of a home run. 1 run, 1 hit. The solo shot from Busby. Al Kaline rubs some more dirt on it. He just kept this game a 2-2 tie. Wowzers. John on spring break. Aren't you kind of old for spring break? Just saying. So even the Cleveland faithful had to applaud that effort from Kaline. Remember, Al never played in the minor leagues. He went right to Detroit at 19 years old. So at 22, he is a wily veteran who will play for 18 more years. Bill Tuttle homered in the 4th. 1 for 2. Tuttle's driven in 30. Drops one down, throws to first. Hegan to Avila, and that's an out. So Tuttle tried to use some speed, couldn't get on. Ray Boone also homered his last time up. That was his 9th of the year. He's now driven in 27. Cleveland Tribe fan says, never too old for spring break, especially when 2 days will be used spending 12-ish hours watching. That's true, Colin. I used to take vacation time this time of year. I never went anywhere, except for in front of my television set to watch basketball for 12 hours a day. But your daughter isn't too old. Okay, well, hopefully you and the daughter and the missus and all that are having a good old time. Grigsby is a designer of PC war games. Nice. Yeah, I thought that name sounded familiar. It's not unusual. I know that ID Jester and the War Room and all that, for people to do both sports gaming and war gaming. Because war gaming is a pretty nerdy thing, too. Pitch to Boone, and Ray draws the walk. Well, enjoy it. Are you in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or are you visiting her, or maybe taking in some spring training ball in Florida or Arizona? Bob Kennedy, 1 for 2 with a single. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tigers. They've left on 4. The Indians, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and they've left on 4. Tribe fan has taken the week off. Pitch to Kennedy. There's a fly ball right center. Back goes Busby, makes the catch, and Boone goes back to the bag. Speaking of Tim, I was reading the Athletics ratings of the 30 NHL owners. Obviously, the Sabres ranked dead last. But I was surprised to see that Columbus was not ranked that high in ownership. Yes, John doing some things around town. Bride Weiser was a bulldog, a bullfrog, has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. He does have an 8-game hitting streak. Good to do that, John, before the weather gets really warm down your way. Score deals, runner goes, ground ball to third, Regalado goes to Avila for the out. So Bride Weiser makes that. Jim Brady coming in to pitch. So that's the day for Gromit. We go to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave on 1, 2-2 the score. Here's a story of a man named Brady who was just 20 years old. He throws a fastball at 90, and he really can't pitch at all. Brady 0-1 with a 9.95 mini Pearl ERA. Howdy! His last appearance came Saturday against the Athletics in Detroit against Kansas City in a 5-3 win. Inning and 2/3, 23 pitches, a hit, and a strikeout. Overall, his numbers are some kind of terrible. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 5 walks, and a strikeout. They did double switch, so he is in the 6th hole, and the new left fielder is Maxwell. Charlie Maxwell is an 8 in the 6 out there in left. And so Maxwell in the 9 hole, and Brady with a double switch in the 6th hole. Vic Wertz homered his last time up, 1 for 2. Brady can get you 20 pitches, so Detroit kind of conceding this one. Don't know if it's the inability to play or keep free agents or land big trade targets. Okay, Sean worked yesterday and Monday, so got the rest of the week off, hopefully. David says Pagula is doing a disservice to the Sabres fan base since he purchased the team. Yep, I've never read anything positive about him with the Sabres. They love him as the Bills, but not for the Sabres. Poor upper management decisions for 14-plus years has left the franchise a complete mess. They have a nice arena. And they didn't get anything for Eichel, David, did they? Pitch to Wirtz. There's a base hit left center field. Tuttle plays it off the wall, and Wirtz has himself a double. So he has a double and a home run today, and that's the 5th hit for the Indians. Preston, oh, look at those numbers in the outcome box. Ouch. Ward 1 for 2 with a single. That's in the right. Back goes Kaline. Al will make the catch. Does not injure his shoulder. Wirtz tags and will hold. So 1 out. Lopez doesn't send him. For Regalado, who was 0 for 1 and hit by a pitch. Wirtz with my speed on second. That is into right. Kaline will play it on a hop. Wirtz takes a long turn, will hold. So the Tigers potentially can do a double play here. Strickland is 1 for 2. George has a single. And John is still rooting for whoever I'm not managing. That was an all-time classic moment when you told me that. That was funny. Brady deals. That is into right field and will drop in front of Kaline. Wirtz will score, and the Indians go up 3-2. So first and second, Brady pitching like he has an earned run average of 28. His real-life ERA was 28.42. That's a stock number. What's a share of you? Oh, I'm going for 28 a share. Imagine that being your ERA. Hegan is 0 for 2 today. Wilson reminds Brady that this isn't Toledo. Brady deals. And that's in the left, past Keene in the left field. Regalado, did they catch him off a third? No, he got back. However, the bases are loaded for Herb Score, who's going to stay in the game. Now is a 3-2 lead. 1 out. Herb does hit well for a pitcher. He's hitting 200. He's 0 for 2 with a K. Brady, big breath, and walks home the pitcher, and Regalado scores. So it's now 4-2. Remember, the Tigers are coming in after a doubleheader yesterday. Jim Busby is 1 for 2. He homered the opposite way his last time up. Brady, on this 64-degree night, is sweating like a hog. In the shallow right center, K-Line will make the catch. Strickland, and that's not going to be deep enough. You're not running on LK Line's arm. 2 out for Avila, who's 0 for 3. So Strickland on third. Hegan on second. Probably would score on a single. And score fast for a pitcher anyway, on first. Let me see. Kevin Adams has been the Sabres GM for 5+ years. Prior to that, he managed the Sabres practice facility and youth hockey. Well, yeah, yeah. No, that's not good. I suppose Toronto's first-round collapses are maybe a saving grace in the region. Pitch to Avila. That's up the middle into center field. Strickland scores. Keegan will score. Score holds at second, so score doesn't score. And it's now a 4-run ball game, 6-2. So Brady has coughed up the hairball here in the 6th for Al Smith, who is 0 for 3 today. So the Tigers, already with tired arms, are now just throwing batting practice to the Indians. As the mouse was on the wrong button, 2 out, pitch to Smith, and he draws the walk. So second walk in the inning. Brady's whip is 10.5. Here's Wirtz. Wirtz is homered. Has upset my cat. He has scored twice. He doubled in this inning already. And is now 2 for 3. Slices this one first base side. Phillips gives chase. But it's out of play. And somebody from Erie, Pennsylvania made that catch, and the count is 2-2. Brady deals, and he walked him. So score does his name. And it's 7-2. And former Red Sox pitcher Walt Masterson comes in. So Brady can only get 2 outs. He gives up 4 runs. And Masterson, with those glasses, a little more hair, you'd think it was 1975, for crying out loud. 36 years old, making his 7th appearance. He has no record and no ERA. Fastball at 85 and a ground ball pitcher. Bullfrog. Hey, Jeremiah, it's your daddy. Walt was a bullfrog. Last pitched on Saturday, went 1 inning, 15 pitches, and that 5-3 win over the Athletics. 6 2/3 overall, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And he is on short rest. He can only go 20 pitches. Ward 1 for 3. Preston has a single as the Indians are in the process of breaking this one open. No double switch. Masterson will be in the 6th hole. Pitch to Ward, and that got us a swing and a miss, so we struck him out. However, the ball got away from Wilson, and everybody moves up 90. So Ward reaches on the strikeout. Regalado comes up 1 for 2. He was been hit by a pitch. He scored. So Smith on third, Wirtz on second, Ward, who got a reprieve from the governor, on first. It's now an 8-2 ball game. Got him. So somehow Masterson strikes out 2, but only can retire 1. Believe it or not. 6 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Oh, my word. We go to the 7th on Blowout Theater. Indians 8, Tigers 2. So I promise that Herb Score will not pick up his 7th loss of the year today. Doesn't mean the Indians are going to win it, but it won't be Scores. Red Wilson is 0 for 2. So Wilson, Maxwell, and Keene here in the 7th. Red is 0 for 2. And he walked him. We're going to be here till 2 o'clock. So Charlie Maxwell coming in off the bench at 339, 5 homers, and 18 RBI. Score, and he can have a word from the stretch, and he walked him. You can throw it at 93, but you got to find a zone, and the 3-1 misses upstairs and away. Nobody out for Harvey Keene, 27 batters deep for Score, 118 pitches, 6+ innings, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Line drive to Strickland, and they're going to double off Maxwell, I think. The throw to first, and they got him. So Maxwell thought that was a base hit, and by the time that he saw that Strickland had it, he was pretty much standing next to Wilson on second base. So he had to make a mad dash back, and Strickland threw him out. So the double play worked. Not your traditional 6-3 double play, but that's what it is. 2 out for Phillips. Jack 1 for 3 with a double. That is in the left. That should score Wilson. Ward picks it up, throws it back in the infield, and the Tigers make it an 8-3 ball game. So 2 out for Kaline. Al 1 for 3. 2 fantastic defensive plays, and a shoulder that kind of looks like hamburger right now. Popped up. Strickland. Stretch time. 8-3 Cleveland. So it'll be Strickland. Where am I looking here? Hegan, and we'll see for a score. Herb sitting on a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Strickland 2 for 3. He singled twice, dribbling a run and scored. Masterson deals. That's up the middle. Keene throws to Phillips, 1 out. For Hegan, 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Got him. So 2 out. Masterson is fan 3, 2-2. Score will stay in the game. Herb 0 for 2 is walked, struck out, driven in a run because he walked with the bases loaded, and then would score himself. Right center, Tuttle coming in, makes the catch. We play a sliding catch, another one for Tuttle. That's his second. His knees looked like Al Kaline's shoulder. After 7, no runs, no hits, no errors. Indians 8, Tigers 3. So to steal a line as the cat now wants in, why is it that someone who makes a great play to end the inning always leads off the next inning? Okay, Joe Garagiola, Bill Tuttle homered his last time up. He is 1 for 3. Score, I'm not going to let him finish this unless he doesn't let anybody on. Right center, Busby, 1 out. Herb looking for his 3rd win on the year. Ray Boone homered in the 4th. Now is 9 on the year. That is into center field. Busby throws it back in. And Boone will reach 7th hit for the Tigers. Masterson's spot is up. Walt doesn't have an at-bat in the replay. He went 1 for 4 in real life. He stays in the game and strikes out. The Tigers have nobody. Absolutely nobody. So, the takeaway from this is Sunday doubleheaders are great for the fans, but lousy for the teams. Breidwieser, 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Score deals. That's in the left. Ward will make the catch, and we're through 8. 7.5 in the books. No runs, a hit. The Tigers leave on a runner. It is Cleveland 8, Detroit 3. So Busby, Avila, and Smith to face Masterson here in the 8th. Jim is 1 for 3. He homered in the 5th. His 7th of the year, and he's driven in 21. There is a base hit right center. And I think Cleveland has pretty much clinched this. Detroit's arms are just gone. Bobby Avila, 1 for 4. He's driven in 2 today. He has singled and scored himself. Wilson says, just ground balls. That's what he gets. Boone. Brideweezer for 1. Avila's going to reach, but that's exactly what Wilson called for. 1 out. And in a 5-run game, we're not stealing. Al Smith is 0 for 3 with a walk. Left center, Maxwell. 2 out. So Masterson taking 1 here for the team. In the bottom of the 8th, 2 out for Vic Wertz. Vic has doubled and homered. He's driven in 2 today. Now has 10 home runs on the year. That is into right. That will drop in front of K-line. Al's hurt himself enough today. Flicks it back in. So runners on the corners for Wertz, a 3-hit day. Won't have the chance at the cycle. Didn't have a triple in real life anyway. Preston Ward is 1 for 4. He has singled and struck out. Only Smith, but he must have reached. So everybody's reached base for Cleveland today. And he walks Ward. Masterson just trying to get out of this, and nope, Duke Maas. M-A-A-S. Trying to get the 24th out here. Duke is 27. Throws a fastball at 87. No, I did not purchase it this year, John. Fly ball pitcher. 1 in 4 on the replay with a 7.83 ERA. And to quote Dana Carvey, that's bad. That's bad. 10 appearances. His last one coming yesterday. He started yesterday. 6 1/3 innings in a 12-3 win. 107 pitches. 5 hits. 3 runs. All earned. A home run. He gave up 4 home runs to the Yankees on the 24th. Ouch. A walk and 3 strikeouts. So overall, Duke is saying no. 33 1/3 innings. Put the needle on the record. 40 hits. 31 runs. 29 earned. 7 homers. He's walked 15. No Moss indeed, right? And 18 RBI. Speaking of that, I'm glad to no Moss. Glad to see that Tracy Morgan is feeling better after he delayed a New York Knicks game by leaving it all on the court. Rudy Regalado at the plate. Rudy 1 for 3. He has been hit by a pitch. He has scored. He has singled and struck out. Bases loaded into right center. Tuttle will end the Indians' offense right there. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th. We'll let score of a base runner. It's the Indians 8, the Tigers 3. So 8, 9, and 1. Wilson, Maxwell, and Keene to face score. Red 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored. 5 to tie and 6 to go ahead. Score. Struck him out. That's 6. So after I said, no, I'm not leaving him in all the way. Pitched well. Charlie Maxwell walked his first time up. 1 of the 4 on Score's card on the day. Herb winds and fires. Struck him out. A good morning and a good afternoon for number 7. So it's Harvey Keene. And everyone who, like me, does a mediocre Scully impression, 2-2 to Harvey Keene. There we go. You got it. So Harvey Keene, the last chance saloon for the Tigers. He is 0 for 4 today with a K. Score trying to pick up his 3rd win, and the Indians trying to pick up win 22. He winds and fires. Struck him out. He gets the side in the ninth. And the Indians win it 8-3. So score, at least on this Monday night, settle one. 2 hours and 57 fake minutes. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Indians moved to 22-13. They left on 10. Tigers, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And they left on 7. Herb's score goes the distance. 9 innings to pick up his 3rd win. Todd B with the logo. Woo-hoo! Thank you, Jeremiah. Didn't realize that your dad, Walt, was your daddy. 7 hits for score, 3 runs, all earned, the 2 homers, Boone and Tuttle. He walked 4 and struck out 8, including the side, in order in the 9th. The Tigers were just a tired, you're welcome, Avenue Ball Club. 5 innings for Gromit, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, the solo homers, they were solo, Busby and Wirtz. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Then the bullpen, which again had nothing, absolutely nothing, imploded. Brady, 6 runs on 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 5 earned runs. Masterson just trying to get out of it. 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 Ks. And then Duke Moss, who started yesterday's game, or one of them, got the last out to finish it off for a tired Tiger Ball Club. We're going to give Wirtz the MVP, 3 for 4, single-double homer with 2 runs scored. Well, the rest of this Monday in baseball for you, as the Indians lead now is a 1.5 games. Redlegs beat the Cubs at Wrigley 5-3. Joe Nuxhall goes to 4-2. Rush falls to 3-4. Wally Post 1 for 2. A stolen base and 2 walks. What a day for Baltimore. Connie Johnson strikes out 10, picks up his first win. They beat Washington 12-7. Weasler falls to 3-1. Billy Gardner, a 4 for 5 day, drives in 3 with 2 doubles, and the Orioles pound out 18 hits. Phillies beat the Giants 5-2. Harvey Haddix goes the distance, 3-hitter. A run was earned, or 1 earned run and a walk. He goes to 2-2. Worthington falls to 3-3. Lapata, 2 for 3, hits his 10th and drives in 2. Dodgers shut out the Pirates 7-0 at Forbes. Erskine 4-1. Friend didn't find one. He's 4-4. Pee Wee Reese 3 for 5. 2 RBI and a double. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 6-4. Whitey Ford goes to 4-4. Frank Sullivan falls to 6-2. I believe it's going to be Aaron Robinson, 3 for 4, 2 homers. Has 5 now, and they were solo shots and drove in 2. Milwaukee continues to dominate. They shut out the Cardinals in St. Louis 7-0. Slater 3-0. Waymeyer 1-1. Some scrub by the name of Aaron goes 2 for 4, hits his 4th. And last but not least, the White Sox shut out the A's 10-0. Donovan goes to 4-1. Lasorda, is that how you pronounce it? Tommy Lasorda, 1-3. Takes the loss. Larry Doby, 2 for 4, 5 RBI, and 2 double. Do I have any email posts that would like to ask me a question offline? Did you win? No, you didn't win. You lost 8-3. Hold on a sec. You get the, can I click on the, there we go. There. So you can fill in the rest of that. So that's that for that. The Braves lead the Dodgers by 3. Cleveland leads Boston by 2. So when we're together tomorrow for the doubleheader, it'll be Cux and Ramos as the Nats and the Yankees play. There's not a lot of good choices here. In the second game, Pasquale and Turley. And then we get into June. So next week, did I pick a game? Oh yeah, Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. 20-6. And then KC and Boston on the 2nd. And our next Monday special, because it's my mommy's birthday, Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Sal Maglie and Lou Burdett on a special holiday edition there. So that'll do it. You're more than welcome. Please don't spam me too much. Final score here. Indians 8, Tigers 3. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.